Hi guys, can I just apologise for the terrible quality that this video is probably going to turn out to be, because I broke my Mac, so I'm having to use my phone to edit this and I hate it. Please bear with me. In this vlog, I've teamed up with which university to talk to you about applying to offers, applying to UCAS Deadline. I'm doing this before I'm at uni, so this is a completely new experience for me, but I'm sure it will turn out very useful when I get to the stage of handing in my own UCAS application about 10 minutes before the deadline, and I'm crying. So, university! So personally, I don't really know what I want to do yet myself, and often I'll lie awake at night thinking about it. In fact, at times I just wonder about just giving up completely on A-levels, and I'm literally only in my first year, about 2 months in. So, yeah. But there are other paths to university if you don't fancy it, and there are way more apprenticeships and job offers nowadays than there ever have been. But my sister's nearly finished third year doing English at uni, and she says it is a brilliant life choice. There are so many different societies, which are basically social clubs in sport, reading, music, art, living. You'll be living on your own for at least 3 years, so you'll find out if you'll be living on pot noodle for the rest of your life. I'm just gonna put this out there. It is true that if you attend a university, it will definitely help you get employed faster in the job you enjoy. Even if you don't know what you want to do yet, just pick a subject you enjoy and go with it. Like, if you don't like it, just defer. And what's the worst that you've done? You've tried that opportunity, you've tried doing something you thought you might enjoy. I mean, personally, I want to have a gap year, at least 1 year, before I go to university, because I just want a break from education for a bit. But I do want to go to university just for the experience of it, like living alone for 3 years and having to do like cleaning and buying toilet roll does kind of scare me a bit. But that's probably because I've lived in a desolate village my whole life and I've never really left the house. If you're aiming to start university in 2018, the university UCAS application deadline is the
15th of January, 6 p.m.
And if you're aiming for Oxbridge, medicine, dentistry, vet courses, the deadline was the 15th of October 2017. And if you're doing art and design, then the deadline is still the 24th of March 2018. So you got a while yet. So don't worry if your application doesn't make it to the deadline. It will still be accepted after, but you might miss out on competitive courses. But there are ways around this. UCAS Extra allows you to choose another choice if your other 5 haven't been successful. And UCAS Clearing basically lets you grab a spot on any other similar course if you didn't get the grades for the ones you've applied to. Another thing you can do if you don't get the grades is go to the university for an interview. Make sure you've done a personal statement for this, because this is what they'll base their judgment on whether you get accepted or not. Which you've made a checklist for this, so you can check off that you've done everything you can for your personal statement to make it as best as you can make it, even if you think it's ready. One of the guidelines is to make sure lots of people have read it, not just yourself, because you want a second opinion. Obviously you'll try and make yourself sound brilliant, but you know, you do need some honesty in there. Make sure you have lots of breaks before you edit it, and check it again like 24 hours after you think you finished. And bite-size the amount of time you spend on it, otherwise you'll probably overthink it. Ask, is it the best it could be without making yourself sound extravagant? Make sure your personality still shows through, because you want to stand out to the interviewer. Also, just make sure you're spelling and grammar right, obviously. And there's really no harm in applying to 5 universities or courses, because honestly it's better to be prepared rather than not succeed and have only applied to 2 universities, because then your options really will be limited. So there are many ways to avoid delaying your application. The first, being quite obvious, is that you don't give your tutor enough time to check your application, because you want to make sure they have enough time to check it and make sure it's perfect, and get back to you about it if there's any improvements needed. Do remember to resend your return application back to the school or college with the improvements, otherwise it won't be submitted and they might send the old one that hasn't been improved. Don't just assume that they have sent it off already. You can check your application on the UCAS website so you can see where it's gone, who's got it, when you sent it, etc. So make sure you've got a completed reference, because if you don't, then your application will be half finished. If you've already applied for your school or college, you have to re-register and start a new application completely from scratch, which you really want to avoid. If you've individually applied, you can request a new referee in UCAS Apply. Once you're ready to send it off, and you can phone UCAS to submit it also. So you should hear back from the courses you've applied to by the end of March, depending on when you submitted your application. Again, I'll say it doesn't matter if it was late past the deadline, you might just miss out on competitive courses. The waiting game can honestly vary from about 48 hours to a month. Don't take it personally. It really all depends on when you sent your application, which university you sent it to, which course it was, and how many people would have applied to that course, etc. So you can go to the Which University or UCAS websites to read articles that I got some of the info from. Again, I'll put the links in the description. I'll also put some links down for other YouTubers who have teamed up with Which before. Personally, for my channel, I have some more exciting ideas for vlogs coming out soon. If you didn't realise, I'm very behind on my videos because I've had so much going on at the minute and I'm just so tired. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.